Welcome back. You're watching Morning Express. With me in studio is Nelly Mutula, who's the head of people at Fuzu. We're talking about the changing landscape when it comes to the workplace, given what COVID-19 has taught us and the possibilities that have opened up. We talked about the challenges, so now let's look into the future. Given what we have experienced, what many of us have been able to accomplish outside the workspace, what do you think the future looks like for the modern workspace?
Okay. So maybe I can start off with saying there are different ways in which businesses are now operating, and operating is how our company is working. So as I mentioned, there is, of course, companies that are fully gone remote, so where you're able to work from your house. You can go on holiday and still be working, or you can be able to work mostly remote, where it's maybe 1 or 2 days that you're coming to the office. There are others that are mostly back to the office, so maybe 3 or 4 days where you need to come to the office, the rest you're working remotely, and then there are others that are fully back to the office. But I think all of us have gotten to that point where we have tested the beauty of being able to work remotely. And just to reference to the Future of Work report, again, we were able to survey over 450 businesses and HR leaders and just walk them through how do they think the future will be now that we have kind of gone through seen different ways of working. I think before it was very hard for organizations to even say that, you know, my people can actually work remotely very well. Or,
actually, it was seen as laziness.
Exactly.
Or a side hustle that you do from home, but never your mainstream career. But now it's more accepted that you can actually work without goofing off or, you know, not being as keen on your work, right?
Exactly. And of course, it came with its challenges where organizations were forced by COVID to actually allow people to work from home. But then I think one thing that we have seen organizations being able to do is put in processes and policies or even ways in which people can be able to work better. As mentioned, one of the things that was affected by us having to work from home was, of course, the company culture. So you want to still feel connected to your team members and colleagues, even as you work from home, as you would when you're in the office. So company brought up things around having virtual meetups, whether you're able to create a room in the sense that you're able to join and work with people even though you're working from home, or you're able to kind of have activities that just allow you to be able to socialize online, which still gives the impact of we're still connecting, but we're still working from home. Now, what does the future look like? Now, based on the report, one of the things that came out is over 100% of the companies that were surveyed said that the way that they're currently working now will still be the way that they're working in the future. So that will still be the hybrid working model, which is work from home, work from the office, flexibility. And I think that is what most people are looking for, even as they look for opportunities. You want a job that kind of allows you to be able to do both of those. You can go to the office, or you can be able to comfortably work from the house. And
when you talk about cost efficiency, is there a positive to that? Because companies hire large, spaces in cities and towns just to be able to house their workforce. Does this have some cost efficiency that companies can be looking forward to and celebrating?
Definitely. You know, now it actually has given companies more access to better talent, or even what we would call quote-unquote global talent. What is global talent? It means that as a HR professional, I'm able to work for a company that it's not even based in Kenya. And we're able to do that through being able to invest in digital ways of ensuring that I am still able to work as productive as I'm able to work when I'm physically in an office. So what this means is for businesses, they're able to tap into better talent, and for you who is out there looking for an opportunity, you're even able to now think through, how do I get an opportunity without focusing myself on just Kenya? And it's about getting a role in Kenya, but then it's about how do I identify the skills that I have that an organization, even in the US or even in UK, can be able to tap into for them to be able to give me that opportunity for me to be able to work with them.
So have you seen this literally as part of Fuzu translate through the demands that you're getting from recruiters and people looking for employment?
100%. So we as Fuzu, one of the things that we're privileged to do is work with organizations that are not necessarily just in Kenya, Uganda. That's currently where we're operating, or the East Africa market. It's even working with companies in West Africa, companies in Europe, companies in the US. And what they do is, you know, at the end of the day, I need talent. And if I can find that talent in Kenya, then why not? So we're able to help them go through the process of identifying what are the skills that you need for this person, what does this person need to be able to embody for you to be able to say, this is the kind of person that I need to bring to my organization. So of course it has been very beneficial for organizations in such a way that, you know, I won't call it low talent. It's actually being able to have access to more global and higher talent for you to be able to leverage on. Yes.
So for whoever is sitting at home watching who does not have a job, how would you advise them to approach this new frontier of job seeking?
Perfect. I think it of course starts with us changing our mindset, right? It's not about I need to get a job that will be an 8 to 5 or a job that I need to go to the office, but it's actually being able to get or identify the skills that you have that an employer can be able to tap into. And the things that organizations are looking for now is beyond the skill, beyond the experience you're bringing to me. I need to know that you're able to, one, be accountable for whatever task you're given, such that I do not have to follow up on you. I do not need to be saying, okay, I know Nelly is working from home, but I'm not confident that she's still working from home. The other thing is we all need to be able to sit down and kind of evaluate then what are the skills that we now need and how can I be able to demonstrate them. Hiring has changed for the past 1 year, where more and more organizations are actually embracing virtual hiring, and that is where I get to meet you the first time through a Zoom call or even a WhatsApp call, whatever it is that organizations are doing. So what this means is it puts more pressure on someone who is looking for that opportunity to actually, one, be able to explain themselves and elaborate why am I the best fit for this specific role. And that comes with you being able to say, you know, beyond the experience that I have, I'm also bringing in these other competencies, and how I can be able to demonstrate them in a virtual interview is through 1, 2, 3 different ways. So we just need to be able to rethink through how do I prepare for a role, how do I interview for a specific role, and how do I demonstrate the experience and the skills that I have that this employer can be able to leverage on.
Right, and that means there's also a new demand for certain skills.
Exactly.
And does it mean that you have an edge if you're more tech savvy? Explain to us.
100%. So more and more organizations are essentially looking for people who are very, one, adaptable. And adaptability comes in with if we need to be able to potentially maybe use, so we were using maybe books or papers to be able to move files from one area to the other. We need to create a tracking system. So someone who can essentially be able to use us, as you've called it, we need someone, organizations are looking for people who are very tech savvy. And tech savvy comes in with you being able to pick up skills, to pick up technologies very fast. Because then also organizations now are going through the phase of essentially rethinking what does business look like, or how do businesses processes essentially look like?
Right.
So give an example, when it comes to potentially salespeople, you need to be able to, beyond being able to sell and talk to a customer face to face, you need now to be able to convince that person on phone that, you know, this is the best product for you. But apart from that, it's for you to be able to track your performance. You need to be able to use tools. So for you to be able to use those CRM tools, you need to be able to understand how to use them. That's one skill that has become high demand. So you need to be very flexible but also tech savvy. The other skill that has come in demand is also communication. Communication has become very, very key in the sense that you need to be able to bring your point out when you're communicating to people beyond just expecting to write a whole email or being able to expect that, you know, I can walk up to you and come to you and tell you and explain my point, even if it will take me 30 hours. What I need to do is now be able to get my point through within the shortest time possible, and we're able to make decisions very fast and move on. The other thing that is also becoming very, very important is, you know, organizations are now looking for people who are critical thinkers. It's not about, you know, I can do this and I can do that. It's beyond. It's about how do I move from, how do I think of the second order effect of something. So if I'm trying to make a decision, it's about, am I able to think through it in such a way that it actually helps the business to be able to attain their business objective or not. So those are some of the skills that are becoming high in demand.
Okay, and here's a thought. A lot of people would take leave, let's say new moms or people who want maternity leave, or some people would not be able to operate comfortably if they have a certain disability. Explain to us how this is going to be a change for such people.
Okay. I think, you know, working from home has essentially been able to have an operating model that is very hybrid. It allows organizations actually to be more inclusive. So people who essentially would need time off different from what you were getting before, or people even with disability. The one thing that has happened is the fact that, you know, organizations have essentially adopted different technologies for them to allow their people to be able to work comfortably from wherever they are. Right. So rather than having to take, say, 5 or 6 days of leave, of annual leave, I'm able to do that within 2 days, because then most of the people, you know, most of the time people would take leave to spend more time with their family. But then working and having a hybrid method of working has allowed us to be able to spend more time with the families that we have. So it actually has translated in more productivity for businesses rather than it been having a negative effect on how businesses are able to work.
Okay,
Yep.
so can we ever think of going back to what things used to be before Corona?
We will definitely. I mean, personally, I'm very hopeful that we'll be able to go back to being able to see people face to face. But I think even for people who potentially are sitting at home and figuring out what kind of companies do I look out for, I think more organizations are actually now trying to rethink the policies that they have around remote work, around flexible work, around work hours and all. It's about, organizations have moved to the face of, it's about outcomes that you're able to present,
yes,
rather than the amount of hours that you put into your work day. Gone are the days where you work from 8 to 5, and just because it's 5, you decide, I'm going home. But it's about, we set objectives at the beginning of the day. Have I actually been able to accomplish them?
So is it a question of productivity versus how much time you're putting in?
It's yes, I would say yes. But then again, you know, with productivity comes in with results, and us being able to see what it is that you're actually able to accomplish at the end of the day. So will we go back to where we are? I think more organizations who are not thinking around being able to still have the hybrid way of working will probably lose out on talent more than the ones who are actually now embracing even and allowing more and more people to be able to work from home.
Okay, and for your closing remark?
I think we did, as I mentioned, the Future of Work report is something that looked into different businesses, different industries, different professions. So what I would really, really encourage every single person is to go to the FUZU website and be able to read this report. So you can be among the first people to get exclusive access to this. So what you can do is just go to the website or write out to us at support@fuzu.com, and someone will be able to share that report with you. But again, also on our social media pages, we've been able to share snippets around the report.